Hong, Hong. Arise from space, be not idle in compassion, Lord, great lion, embodiment of the three roots, powerful Norbu Dradul, along with your Dharmapala, Drala, and Verma retinue, come here by the power of your vow of compassion. Accept the offering of Samaya substance, Amrita and Torma, truly show the signs and marks of accomplishment. Please accomplish the desired results just as we wish, and grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Hong Hong. Arise from space, be not idle in compassion, Lord, great lion, embodiment of the three roots, powerful Norbu Dradul, along with your Dharmapala, Drala, and Verma retinue. Come here by the power of your vow of compassion, accept the offering of Samaya substance, Amrita and Torma, truly show the signs and marks of accomplishment. Please accomplish the desired results just as we wish, and grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Hong, Hong, arise from space, be not idle in compassion, Lord, great lion, embodiment of the three roots. Powerful Norbu Dradul, along with your Dharmapala, Drala, and Verma retinue, come here by the power of your vow of compassion. Accept the offering of Samaya substance, Amrita and Torma, truly show the signs and marks of accomplishment. Please accomplish the desired results just as we wish, and grant the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Sabarivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. Om Mahasimha Maniraja Saparivara Dambalinda Kahe. A Veena for the Lady, a prayer to Kali Devi. This practice is not intended for those whose minds are wholly constrained, either by the irrational or the rational, but for those gifted with the capacity to relish, or at least aspire to relish, the unfathomable display of phenomena. Homage to the Mother, Sister, Mamo, Devi, Bhagavati. In times of turmoil and volatility, our intentions and actions become unstable, and famine, warfare, and pandemics manifest. At such times, to whom should we appeal but the Mother of all? Hers is the only acquaintance that yogis and yoginis need to make. Motivated solely by a passionate wish to awaken all beings, prepare and arrange all the imagined and tangible offerings you can gather. Flowers, incense, food, clothes, colors, shapes, and everything that we human beings value. Thus, make your supplication. O Devi, you are all that appears, you are all that exists, you are the infinity of space, you are the solidity of the earth, you are the wetness of water, you are the movement of the wind, you are the heat of fire, mother of all the Tathagatas, from you spring skywalkers whirling and dancing, you are Shunyata, neither coming nor going, yet you are also compassion. To satisfy the needs of all beings, your manifestations are legion. To you I prostrate, to you I make offerings, to you I expose my wrongdoing. You are earth, water, fire, wind, and sky, yet all I see is earth, water, fire, wind, and sky. For this I beg your forgiveness. You are all beings, yet all I see are ordinary beings, friends, foes, and strangers. For this I beg your forgiveness. O Devi, you are known by many names. You are Vajravarahi and Krodhi Kali. At times you are Simha Mukha. In certain places you are Kurukula. You are Tara, the sublime sublime goddess, and Saraswati, the exquisite beauty. You are everywhere. There is not 1 inch of space where you are not. You are the queen of the 8 cemeteries. You are the lady of the 24 shrines. You are the sovereign of mantra and darhani. To you I bow and make offerings. I purify all the vows that, bewitched by the 5 emotions, I have so carelessly broken. Vows of the Vinaya, Bodhisattvayana, and Tantrayana. O Devi, you are beyond this world, yet you appear to be worldly. Since you are compassion, you will never pass into nirvana. Since you are wisdom, you will never be born in samsara. You appear as you appear as your sisters, yet you also appear as 14 retinues and 100,000 retinues of retinues. You are the breath of the desire realm. You are adorned with 100 titles and honors. You are graced with 1,000 names. You appear in infinite forms. You effect countless miracles. In an instant you are seen in 1,000 realms. You can harmonize the elements or you can disrupt them, and if you wish, the elements will cease to exist. You are the 4 seasons. You are the quintessence of all healing. You are the author of all plagues. You roam freely in isolated places. You stroll where beings gather. You bless yogis and yoginis. You punish samaya breakers. To you I prostrate and make offerings. To you I offer Gana Chakra, and to you I confess my wrongdoing. You are annoyed by my proud refusal to be inspired by the Vajra Master. You are displeased by my egocentric inability to long for and trust the Vajra Master. Not realizing that it's there and at the same time it's not there, I infuriate you by insisting that it is either there or not there. Cause and effect is an illusion, yet you are incensed when I violate its laws. Although I have been empowered as the Deva, I irritate you by failing to maintain that awareness and abusing myself. Although all beings are Devas and Devis, I enrage you by failing to notice my abuse of others. Although my Vajrakin are my family, I madden you by losing my temper and abusing them. Your blood boils when I show immature practitioners the supreme tantric view and action. Your hackles rise when I distinguish what is to be attained from what is to be got rid of. You see red when I denigrate and hold wrong views about women, the embodiment of wisdom. You bristle with fury when I see sentient beings as friends or foes rather than devas and devis. I displease you when I fail to uphold the fortress of the view. I aggravate you when I hesitate to wander through meditation's terrain. I enrage you when I allow thoughts to rob me of my view. I infuriate you when I am fake and hypocritical. O Devi Bhagavati, Kali's anger is aroused when sanghas bicker amongst themselves, when sanghas hold lay people in contempt, when viewless tantrikas abuse mantras, when tantrikas sell tantra as a commodity, when profanities stream from beings' lips, when children deceive their parents, when bhikshus and bhikshunis abandon their Vinaya vows, when thievery, mugging, and hunting become professions, when wars and conflicts are never-ending, when unwholesome activity is a way of life, and when families practice incest. This provokes the Black Mamo's wrath. I beseech you, do not forget me, never forget, embrace me with loving kindness. May this offering of Gana Chakra and Balimta fulfill all your wishes. May the knowledge that I am enslaved by my emotions assuage your wrath. Shower me with your blessings. O Devi, we inflame and provoke you when we mistreat cats and mongooses, fail to give gifts, abuse donkeys and mules, hunt deer and zebras, shoo away blackbirds, slander swineherds, separate peahens from peacocks, and exile both, and by burning blood and milk. In essence, as Devi is beyond duality, our conduct does not affect you, but it infuriates your retinue of 100 million dakinis. filling them with a vicious, fearsome wrath. I must therefore confess all my wrongdoing. I offer myriad Gana chakras, countless libations, infinite radiance, innumerable meats, seas of blood, incalculable breaths, and the specters of ghosts and gods. Fulfill all your wishes, restore my broken vows, and extinguish the Mamo's wrath. May we be free from environmental calamity. May we be protected from hail and drought. May we be shielded from all disease, known and unknown. May we overcome outer, inner, and secret plagues. May we be protected from physical and mental famine. May all conflict and warfare evaporate. May we never experience the barbarity of the ignorance of bodhicitta. May we be victorious over all our fears. May we be happy without hope. May we genuinely be for benefit to all sentient beings. Ahoing. Amaho, great sovereigns of the 10 directions and 4 times, entire assembly of gurus and victorious, peaceful, and wrathful deities, please consider us. Please come here and rest on sun, moon, lotus seats. Accept our prostrations and offerings to purify our violations and the hells. To the gurus with excellent qualities, we prostrate. To the Dharmakaya, non-conceptual simplicity, we prostrate. To the Sambhogakaya, great bliss, we prostrate. To the Nirmanakaya, protector of beings, who takes whatever form is necessary, we prostrate. To the immovable Vajrakaya, the true nature, we prostrate. To the Kaya of perfect enlightenment, we prostrate. To the peaceful deities who pacify the kleshas, we prostrate. To the wrathful deities who annihilate wrong views, we prostrate. To Manjushri body, Lord of Upaya, Master of life, we prostrate. To Padma speech, faultless proclamation, we prostrate. To Vajra mind endowed with perfect meaning, we prostrate. To Amrita medicine, eliminating the sickness of the 5 poisons, we prostrate. To Kila deity, conqueror of the prideful ones, we prostrate. To the hosts of Mamos, rulers of the elements, we prostrate. To the hosts of Vidyadharas, perfecting the paths and bhumis, we prostrate. To the Samaya-bound protectors of the teachings, we prostrate. To the hosts of masters of mantra, subjugating enemies and obstructing spirits, we prostrate. Hong, self-awareness that knows itself is free from confusion. Wisdom dawns from within equanimity. Samanta Bhadra and Samanta Bhadri, to purify phenomena of mind, we prostrate to you. Within wisdom, inseparable from non-thought, shines the radiant light of the 5 wisdoms, Sugatas of the 5 families, to purify the kleshas, we prostrate to you. From within space dawn the sources of creation, the companions of the 5 wisdoms, 5 great consorts of space, to purify the elements, we prostrate to you. Hosts of many wisdom emanations arise naturally to benefit beings, 8 bodhisattvas, to purify consciousness, we prostrate to you. From within wisdom, all qualities are complete. Whatever siddhis are desired fall like rain. 8 offering devis, to purify place and time, we prostrate to you. And taming vicious ones in the form of Viras, you are free from the faults of ego clinging. 4 watchmen of the gates, to purify wrong views, we prostrate to you. With Maitri, compassion, joy, and equanimity, you benefit beings. 4 female wrathful gatekeepers, to purify eternalism and nihilism, we prostrate to you. From the 6 thoughts, the 6 realms of samsara arise through the power of ignorance. 6 sages who tame with compassion, to purify confusion, we prostrate to you. Hong, display of awareness, Samantabhadra, Lord Mahotra, we prostrate to you. Bringing an end to the 5 poisons without rejecting them, Herukas, we prostrate to you. And Kayas arise from space, the union of Upaya and Prajna, wrathful consorts, we prostrate to you. Great secret ladies emanated from the heart, 8 wrathful ladies, we prostrate to you. Winged messengers with devouring fangs, 8 Tramins, we prostrate to you. Ladies who invoke, summon, and bind, and please. 4 ladies of the gates, we prostrate to you. Emanation ladies with worldly accoutrements, Ishvaris, we prostrate to you. Hum. Yamantaka, slayer of the Lord of Death, surrounded by a retinue of majestic, prideful ones, Manjushri body, we prostrate to you. Hong, King Hayagriva, Deva of magnetizing, surrounded by a retinue skilled in magnetizing and destroying. Padma speech, we prostrate to you. Hong, great splendor, Vajra Heruka, surrounded by the retinue of your own radiance. Vishuddha mind, we prostrate to you. Hong, Bhagavat, Mahotra Heruka, surrounded by countless peaceful and wrathful deities, one who expands qualities, we prostrate to you. Hong Vajra Kumara, embodiment of activity, surrounded by a retinue of 10 blazing wrathful ones, accomplisher of enlightened action, we prostrate to you. Hong Heruka, king of actual perfection, and your retinue, 5 elements, the assembly of Mamos, we prostrate to you. Hong Vidyadhara, Vajra, wrathful power, with your retinue dwelling on the paths and bhumis, the assembly of Vidyadharas, we prostrate to you. Lord of secret, Hong, Lord of secret arrayed in blue, surrounded by worldly prideful ones, protector of the teachings, we prostrate to you. Hong, powerful black one, possessing strength and energy, surrounded by many wrathful lords of mantra, tamer of enemies and obstructing spirits, we prostrate to you. If anyone hears the names of and prostrates to the victorious, peaceful, and wrathful deities in that way, they will purify all violations of Samaya, clear away the 5 negative actions of immediate consequence, stir the very depths of hell, and be confirmed in the Buddha field of the victorious Vidyadharas. We verbally confess and mentally lay aside our faults, which are the complete ripening of our karma. With mournful cries and keen remorse, we purify them. With respect, we join palms at our heart. With faith, we make full prostrations. We address by name the hosts of peaceful and wrathful deities. Then, assuming the 5 points of body, we meditate that Vajrasattva is on the top of our head and recite the essence mantra that stirs the very depths of hell. Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manu Palaya Vajra Sattva Tano Ba Tijo Rido Me Bhava Sudho Khayo Me Bhava Subhojo Me Bhava Anuragdo Me Bhava Sarva Siddhim Me Prayacha Sarva Karma Sudzam Me Chitam Shriyam Guru Hong Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mame Munja Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ho, countless peaceful and wrathful deities, please consider us not correctly practicing the words of the victorious one and the instructions of our Guru. We have transgressed them and gone astray. We have disparaged and held wrong views about our kind Vajra master. Toward the consort and our Dharma brothers and sisters, we have acted with malice, harsh words, passion, and aggression. We have gone so far as to strike them and inflict injury. These violations of the Samaya of body we confess before the assembly of peaceful and wrathful deities. Not visualizing the Yidam deity and retinue, incorrect and interrupted mantra recitation and chanting, these violations of the Samaya of speech we confess before the peaceful and wrathful deities of the 5 families. The 10 secrets that were entrusted to us and we promised to keep, we have proclaimed to all, and we have shown the articles of Samaya. These violations of the Samaya of mind we confess before the victorious, peaceful, and wrathful deities. As for the 5 Samayas to be known, not knowing them to be the 5 Samayas, we have viewed them wrongly. As for the 5 Samayas not to be abandoned, through the power of ignorance we have mistaken them to be the 5 poisons. As for the 5 Samayas to be accepted, we have viewed them as clean or unclean, or have behaved carelessly. As for the Samayas to be accomplished, not knowing that they are within us, we have gone astray. As for the 5 Samayas to be practiced, not knowing how to discriminate, we have wrongfully engaged in them. These violations of the branch Samayas we confess before the Yidam deities, neglecting the Samadhis of approach and accomplishment, failing to make offerings on the full and new moon and at the 6 times, being dulled by laziness, distraction, and sleep, having inadequate feast substances due to hoarding and stinginess, defiling the select portion and reducing the leftovers, by devouring feast food before it is offered, behaving without mindfulness and decorum. These violations, whether conscious or unconscious, we confess before the Dakinis and Samaya bound. Through the view, we confess violations of the Samaya of mind. In particular, alaya bodhicitta is realized by the view free from thinking, it is this. It is practiced by the meditation free from thinking, it is not that. It is realized by the conduct free from thinking, it is both this and not this. For bodhicitta, free from hope and fear, violations of all the root and branch samayas are unborn and have never arisen. A confessor and something to confess are liberated as non-duality. Hong, Dharmadhatu itself is simplicity. Seeing it as the duality of existence and non-existence, how exhausting. Clinging to things and their qualities, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of simplicity, great bliss. As Samantabhadra is free from being good or bad, seeing him as clean or unclean, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of good and bad, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of Samantabhadra, great bliss. Equanimity is free from being large or small, seeing it as oneself and others, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of large and small, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of equanimity, great bliss. Bodhicitta is free from birth or death, seeing it as this and future lives, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of birth and death, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of unchanging deathlessness. The great Bindu is free from having corners or sides, seeing it as form or matter, how exhausting. Clinging to the shape of corners and sides, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of the perfectly round Bindu. Within the changeless state of the three times, seeing it as having a beginning or end, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of change and movement, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of the changeless three times. Self-born wisdom is free from effort or attainment, seeing it as the duality of cause and effect, how exhausting. Clinging to duality of effort and attainment, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of effortless spontaneity. Awareness wisdom is free from eternalism or nihilism, seeing it as the duality of a perceiver and perceived, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of eternalism and nihilism, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of awareness wisdom. Utterly pure dharmata is free from complexity, seeing it as dualistic suffering, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of center and fringe, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of utterly pure dharmata. The palace is free from being wide or narrow, seeing it as outer or inner, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of wide and narrow, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of the palace, free from wide or narrow. The space of consort is free from being high or low, seeing it as above or below, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of high and low, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of the Bhaga, free from wide or narrow. The Dharmakaya is free from duality, seeing it as being outer or inner, how exhausting. Clinging to the duality of the environment and its inhabitants, how depressing. We confess this in the expanse of the changeless Dharmakaya. Sentient beings who are deluded by ignorance, how pitiful, clinging to formless dharmas as things and their qualities. The minds of confused individuals, how utterly mistaken. Unborn phenomena are taken to be an I and a self. Not knowing that apparent phenomena are illusory, we develop a mental attachment to worldly wealth and possessions. Not knowing that samsara lacks a true nature, we take confused relatives, friends, and companions to be permanent. The minds of ignorant beings, how utterly mistaken. Abandoning the true meaning, they engage in unvirtuous activity. Abandoning the words of the teacher, they are misled by worldly distractions. Their minds are immersed in meaningless worldly activity. Such meaningless sentient beings, how pitiful. We confess this in the space beyond analysis and synthesis. Hong this genuine, self-arising, great substance, primordially pure, free from being clean or dirty, the 8 main and 1,000 subsidiary ingredients, the substances that are the accomplishment of the 5 Buddha families. This is the great Amrita that fulfills Samaya. By this, the Buddhas who dwell naturally in the great all-pervasive Akanishta are fulfilled with the light of the 5 wisdoms, and are fulfilled with the clouds of Samantabhadra offerings, their wishes having been fulfilled. Their emanations of kindness liberate the 6 realms. May the wishes of the first Buddha, unchanging light, Samantabhadra, be fulfilled. May the wisdom beings that arise from oneself, the universal assembly of peaceful and wrathful deities, be fulfilled. Emanations of kindness who benefit beings, manifesting successively from Vajradhara. All the guides of beings, may their bodies and the Buddha's realms be fulfilled by this offering. May their wishes be fulfilled. We confess our Samaya violation and corruption. Hong, the water of wisdom, the moisture of Dharmata, endowed with love and kindness. It is red in color. Blood that is the cause for producing samsara. Blood that is the self-born Padmarakta, the lifeblood of those killed for committing the 10 crimes. Blood, the red nectar of the elements. As pure, they are all the substance of magnetizing. As impure, they are the cause of the 3 realms of samsara. The wisdom of the Herukas destroys samsaric habitual tendencies of the 3 worlds. Having consecrated this as an offering substance, we offer it to the Great Mother Samantabhadri, so that wisdom may dawn. To the assembly of wrathful Herukas, we offer this to invoke their kindness. To all the Mamos and Dakinis, we offer this as a substance to restore Samaya. To all the Dharmapalas and command protectors, we offer this so that they will perform Buddha activity, amend Samaya, and bestow Siddhi. Home. The sustenance of the 3 realms, the essential food, grains and fruit, food of the 6 flavors, heaps of flesh of those killed for committing the 10 crimes, essence of grain, the jagat of warriors, imagining these to be a variety of foods pleasing to the senses. With devotion we make offering. We offer this respectfully as Dharmadhatu. We offer to beautify the peaceful deities. We offer to glorify the wrathful deities. We offer to please the gurus. We offer to delight the Dakinis. We offer to satisfy the command protectors. We offer this as a representation that amends Samaya. Hong, in 100 vessels are placed 100 clean wicks. They are filled with ghee, the essence of the elements. Lighting these 100 lamps in order to amend Samaya violation and corruption, we offer them respectfully to the victorious ones. From the palace of Dharmadhatu Akanishta, the lights of the 5 wisdoms dazzling, may the wishes of all the peaceful and wrathful be fulfilled. In the Dharma palace at the heart center, the Bindu seed syllable of wisdom shining, may the wish of the self-existing peaceful ones be fulfilled. In the palace of the brain and skull, light rays of self-manifesting heat blazing, may the wish of the self-existing wrathful ones be fulfilled. In the experience of faith and devotion, self-existing awareness shining without obstruction, may the wish of the Vajracharya be fulfilled. In the clarity of Nadi, Prana, and Bindu, self-existing knowledge vividly shining, may the wish of the Mamos and Dakinis be fulfilled. Throughout the expanse of the universe, the planets and stars shining as dots of light, may the wish of the outer oath-bound ones be fulfilled. Purify all Samaya violation and corruption by the power of your vows. Bestow the supreme and ordinary siddhis. Hum. To all the gurus and assemblies of divine yidams, in the wondrous mandala of the secret command, we offer the lamp of wisdom of awareness. Placed in the vessel of self-existing Dharmadhatu, the Amrita prepared from the 8 main and 1,000 subsidiary ingredients, we offer as the completely perfect 5 wisdom bodies. The pure Torma vessel filled with the glorious Torma, we offer this completely perfect object of sense desire. In the pure space completely liberated from the 3 realms of samsara, we make the pleasing offering of red rakta free from passion. The substance of warriors distilled from grain with 1,000 ingredients, we offer this jagat in order to rouse your magnificence. Alala, please accept this joyfully. Samaya. Hong, by entering the supreme mandala of the unsurpassable secret. I have taken the path of enlightenment as very essence. May I not fall into the abyss of samsara, nor be born in the stony gorges of desire and hatred, nor be hurled into the copper cauldron of the hell of false views, nor hear the ferocious roar of the beasts of ill will, nor be struck by the poisonous lance of emotions, but from my excellent spiritual friend, from my Vajra brothers and sisters linked to me by Samaya, from the strength of life, and from the wisdom consort bound to me by the third Abhisheka. In this and all my future lives, may I never be separated, and through profound concentration of those links, may we together successfully ascend the 10 levels. At the moment of death, when the time comes to change my body, I might fall again into the deep abyss of samsara, but opening the door of illumination by the pure light of these lamps, following in the footsteps of the Vidyadharas, purifying my mind at the level of all-pervading luminosity, may I spontaneously attain the level of the great lotus. As I continue on the path toward the level of the great wheel, may the Buddhas of the past welcome me before them, may the Yidams sustain me, may the Bodhisattvas surround me, may the offering goddesses guide me, and may the Mamos and powerful mothers protect me. When I reach the willow leaf Buddha field, and dwell at the level of no returning, having seen your face, O Vajra King of wrathful deities, may I never separate from the Vidyadharas, and attain their unsurpassable body, speech, and mind. May all sentient beings as limitless as the sky, without effort, realize the three kayas, and may every single sentient being of the 6 realms, our very own parents, reach the state of primordial perfection, all together as one. Om Ahom. Ho, the aggregates, elements, and consciousnesses of my body have the nature of the 3 perfect seeds. They are the deities of the mandala of the 100 sacred families. All movements are great bliss. In accordance with the unexcelled Vajra Samaya, I enjoy this meal as a great cloud of bodhicitta, in the state of equanimity, free from duality, on the path of the yogi, having completed the accumulations without being obscured by the food. May I and those who participate generously in this offering enjoy the fruit of the Mahayana. In the mandala of the 3 perfect seeds, by offering this sacred feast, may I and all beings without exception attain accomplishment in one mandala. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manubalaya Vajrasattva Dhanubha Tisavido Me Bhava Sudoshyo Me Bhava Subhosho Me Bhava Anurakto Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Brayaja Sarva Karma Sutam Me Chitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatha Gatha Vajra Mame Munja Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om a a e e u u re re le le e e o o a ga 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 na cha 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 nya cha 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 na ta tha ta tha na pa 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 ma yara lava shaka sahaksha swaha. Om Yedharma Hetun Prabhava Hetun Tashin Tatha Gado Haya Vade Thigan Soya Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahasharmanaya Svaha. Alala Ho Samaya. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it has not arisen, may it arise. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. Homage to ever youthful Manjushri. The request. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, supreme subduer of the hard to tame, the hero conquering the triple world, the Vajra lord and master of all secrets, with eyes wide open like white lotuses, his face just like a lily in full bloom, while shaking in his hand repeatedly a Vajra of the highest excellence, accompanied by countless Vajrapanis with features such as fierce, turbulent brows, subduers of the hard to tame, heroes appearing with heroic, hideous forms, brandishing in their hands their mighty Vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light, great benefactors to all living beings, through skill, through insight, and through great compassion, with pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies those of wrathful deities, protectors who assist in the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverentially, paid homage to the true awakened one, protector, blessed one, the Tathagata, and joining his two palms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following: O omnipresent Lord, for my well-being, with due concern for me and for my sake, that I may reach complete awakening upon the basis of illusion's net, and for the sake of every living being sunk deep into the mud of ignorance, their thoughts disturbed by various afflictions, so that they may obtain the highest fruit, may you, the most supreme awakened one, the blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, who knows the great Samaya's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the great name chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Ushnisha master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation, the wisdom deity called Manjushri. These names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the eons past, and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once, but time and time again, by all the Buddhas of the present age, which were respectfully recited in Illusion's Net, the Tantra most supreme, by multitudes of mighty Vajrapanis, the joyous guardians of secret mantras. Just this I shall uphold with firm resolve until I reach my final liberation, so that I may become, O great protector, the bearer of the Buddha's every secret. And this I shall reveal to living beings according to each one's capacity, in order that afflictions may be quelled, so ignorance may fully be dispelled. With this request to the Tathagata, the master of all secrets, Vajrapani, his body bowed, his palms politely joined, then stood before the Lord devotedly. The reply. And so the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, the best of men, the fully awakened one, extending from his mouth his handsome tongue, a tongue unmatched in both its breadth and length, displaying a gentle smile to living beings, a smile that fills the threefold world with light, that tames the enemy, the four Maras, that ends unwanted birth in all three forms, his voice melodious like that of Brahma, filling completely all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, to Vajrapani, the strongest of the strong: that you, abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to assist all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil-quelling, purifying chanting, the chanting of the names so filled with meaning of Manjushri's embodiment of wisdom. How truly excellent, O Vajradhara, how excellent of you, O Vajrapani. And so I shall, O Master of all secrets, reveal just that to you most splendidly. With single-minded focus, listen well. So truly excellent, O Blessed One. The survey of the six families. And then the Blessed One, Lord Shakyamuni, surveyed in full the family great with mantras, the family of the Vidyas and the mantras, the family that is threefold by its nature, the family of and yet beyond the world, the family great in brightening the world, the foremost family of Mahamudra, and so the family great with great Ushnishas. The stages of awakening according to Illusion's Net. And then, about the Lord of Speech, he spoke these verses, which include 6 kingly mantras which manifest from non-duality, which bear the quality of non-arising. A, I, U, A, O, A, Shtito, Shidi, Jana, Murtir, Aham, Buddho, Buddhanam, Triyadva, Vartanam. Om Vajra Tikshna Dukha Chedha Prajna Jnana Murtaye Jnana Kaya Vagishwari Aparachanayete Namaha. The great Vajradhatu Mandala. And so he is the Blessed One, the Buddha, awakened fully, born of the letter A. He is the letter A, the foremost phenomena, supreme most syllable with meaning great, arisen from great vital force, unborn, beyond expression based on words or speech, the foremost cause of every form of speech, the shining forth of every kind of language, great feast who takes the form of great passion, producing bliss in every sentient being, great feast who takes the form of great anger, great enemy of every mental poison, great feast who is by nature great delusion, delusion's vanquisher for deluded minds, great feast who is in essence great fury, great adversary to all furiousness, great feast who takes the form of great desire, who vanquishes desire in all forms. He is great carnal lust, he is great bliss, he is great happiness, he is great joy, with great appearance, bearing form supreme, with great complexion, marked by great physique, with great renown, the great benevolent one, his mandala voluminous and great, the bearer of the mighty sword of wisdom, the foremost goad for taming great afflictions, possessing great renown, his glory great, his brightness great, his luster most supreme, most wise upholder of the great illusion, fulfiller of the great illusion's aims, enraptured by the great illusion's rapture, the great illusion's great illusionist, the foremost lord of great benevolence, supreme upholder of great discipline, intent supporter of great tolerance, with valor rooted in great diligence, samadhi resting through great meditation, endowed with bodies flowing from great wisdom, both great in strength and great in skillful means, a brimming ocean filled with vows and knowledge, by nature great in kindness, limitless, the foremost mind, enriched by great compassion, of great insight, of great intelligence, great dexterous one with methods ever great, commanding powers and great miracles, with driving force supreme, with speed unmatched, renowned great lord of foremost majesty, most valorous owing to his great might, destroying the massive mountain of becoming, unyielding, holding a strong, massive Vajra, great terrifying lord, the great cruel one, provoking great fear and daunting creatures. Provoking fear in great and daunting creatures, protector as the greatest of all Vidyas, a guru as the greatest of all mantras, traversing well the Mahayana's path, himself the Mahayana's foremost way. The wisdom of the Immaculate Dharmadhatu. He is Mahavairochana, the Buddha, great sage, observing great intensive silence, arising from the great mantra way. He is at heart the great mantra way, accomplished in the 10 paramitas, having the 10 paramitas as home, in whom the 10 paramitas are pure, for whom the 10 paramitas are means, protector, reigning over all 10 grounds, residing steadily on all 10 grounds, made pure in nature by the tenfold knowledge, maintaining purity through tenfold knowledge, with tenfold forms, intent on tenfold content, with tenfold strength, pervasive, Lord of sages, achieving every aim for every being, endowed with tenfold mastery, supreme, beginningless, complexity devoid, by nature pure, reality in essence, unwavering, a speaker of the truth, with speech and actions perfectly aligned, a teacher of the non-dual truth, non-dual, atop reality's most lofty peak, with selflessness, his wild lion's roar, instilling fear in deer-like misled seekers, with journeys fruitful, traveling everywhere, as swift as thought in all the Tathagatas, a victor, slayer of foes, triumphant lord, a universal king, with forces great, assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler, most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way, the lord of speech, the master of expression, most skilled in words, adept with language, truthful, with boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth, not coming back, not turning round, rhino, the leader of the Pratyekya Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, the single cause of all great elements, Arhat Bhikshu, defilements exhausted, devoid of passion, master master of the senses, arrived at comfort, met with security, for he, having cooled down, is free from stains, equipped in full with knowledge and its base, a Sugata, best knower of the world, not thinking me, not clinging unto mine, established in the system of the two truths, upon the edge of cyclic life's far shore, with deeds accomplished, resting on the bank, emerging from untainted, lone awareness, with sword-like insight, ever penetrating, the Son, the Dharma King, the noble Dharma, supreme illuminator of the world, the Dharma Lord, the sovereign of the Dharma, a teacher of the path of excellence, accomplishing all goals, fulfilling aims, completely free from wants of any kind, bereft of thought, non-depleting source, the Dharma source, supreme, beyond decay, enriched by merit, merit's gathering, unique great wisdom, wisdom rich, aware of what exists and what does not, while gathering the twofold gathering, eternal, yogin, king of everywhere, the object and the mind of concentration, the master of intelligent reflection, for by oneself alone he is experienced, immovable, the ultimate beginning, the holder of the three enlightened bodies, the Buddha, formed of 5 embodiments, the omnipresent, made of 5 wisdoms, his diadem with 5 awakened ones, with all 5 eyes, maintaining non-attachment, the great progenitor of all the Buddha's eminent and foremost son, arising from the world of true insight, the sourceless, Dharma source, existence ending, comprised of Vajras, wholly dense and firm, the newborn sovereign ruler of the world, emerging from the sky, the self-arisen, a massive blaze of knowledge and of insight, illuminating, beacon of great light, a lamp of wisdom, shining brilliantly, a light for beings, a lantern unto wisdom, with energy supreme, most radiant, the Vidya King, the greatest mantras Lord, the Mantra King, achieving noble aims, the great Ushnisha, marvelous Ushnisha, the Lord of space, revealer of all things, the best embodiment of every Buddha, with eyes the joy of every living being, creator, manifesting various forms, great sage, deserving praise, deserving worship, a mantrin, born unto the triple family, upholding mantras of the foremost pledge, the greatest bearer of the triple gem, who teaches all 3 peerless vehicles, with snare unfailing, most victorious, the snatcher ever great, the Vajra snare, the Vajra hook, the snare of excellence. The mirror-like wisdom. Called Vajra Bhairava, he is terrific, 6-faced, the king of anger, hideous, 6-eyed, 6-armed, the ever-powerful, bearing his terrible fangs, a skeleton, hala hala, 100 faces proud, the Yama killer, ruling obstacles, instilling fear, with Vajra impetus, the Vajra-hearted, famous for his Vajra, with belly large, with Vajras of illusion, the Vajra-born, the sovereign of the Vajra, akin to space, his core comprised of Vajras, unmoving, haughty with his single dreadlock, his clothes an elephant's rawhide, still moist, the great terrific one who cries, ha ha, who screams, he he, instilling fervent fear. His laugh, a screeching laugh, a booming laugh. He is the Vajra laugh, the mighty howl. He is the noble Sattva, Vajra Sattva, the Vajra's sovereign lord, the highest bliss, the Vajra's wrathfulness, the highest joy, intoning hums of Vajra Kumara, of Vajra Humkara, with Vajra arrows serving as his weapon, his sword comprised of Vajras, slashing all, upholding every Vajra, Vajra bearing with just a single Vajra, ending strife, with eyes like Vajra fire, truly dreadful, with hair that's like a Vajra set ablaze, immersion of the great Vajra, great immersion, with eyes like Vajras, eyes 100-fold, with Vajra hairs that sprout upon his body, his unique figure marked by Vajra hairs, with nails advancing, Vajras at their tips, with skin that's solid like a Vajra's core, the splendid master donning Vajra garlands, adorned with Vajra-fashioned ornaments, with booming voice, his laughter crying, ha ha, 6-syllabled, producing Vajra rumbles, great Manjughosha, sound supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world, a voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all, voice endowed. The wisdom of discernment. He is a being who's fully realized truth, reality, its peak and selflessness, supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken, teaching both the deep and vast. the Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance, arriving at unbounded liberation, he is the Dharma drum in all directions, without a form, with handsome form, supreme, replete with forms diverse, comprised of mind, with splendor shining through his every form, with all reflections under his control, invincible, renowned as Lord Supreme, the Lord Supreme who rules the threefold world, abiding on the noble's lofty path, great source of flourishing, the Dharma's crown, with youthful form unique unto all worlds, the elder, senior, father of all beings, adorned with 32 auspicious marks, most beautiful, most handsome in all worlds, the teacher teaching mundane good and knowledge, the teacher to all beings, most confident, the world's most trusted guide, protector, savior, the refuge unsurpassed, the guardian, the rich enjoyments filling all of space, the knowledge ocean of omniscient beings, while smashing through the shell of ignorance and breaking through the cage of cyclic life, the thorough queller of intense affliction, arriving at samsara's opposite shore, his crown the crown of wisdom, consecration, his ornaments comprising of perfect Buddhas, the soother of the pain of threefold pain, the ender of the trio, ending free, arriving at the threefold liberation, completely free of every obscuration, having achieved equality sky-like beyond the stains of every last affliction, aware of timelessness in all three times, most eminent amongst all sentient beings, the crown amongst those adorned with noble virtues, completely free from every kind of substrate, established firmly on the path of space, a splendid wish-fulfilling jewel in hand, the best of all that's precious, omnipresent, great wish-fulfilling tree, most plentiful, the greatest of all great auspicious vases, fulfilling the aims of living beings, a doer, an allied, most beloved to all creatures, aware of good and bad, aware of times, the omnipresent, knower of the pledges, upholding pledges, conscious of occasions, awake to varied aptitudes in beings, with experience and threefold liberation, with virtues, knowing dharma, auspicious, source of all auspiciousness, of all auspicious things, the most auspicious, great splendor, glory, good, most prosperous, great reassurance, foremost, celebration, great joyousness, the highest form of pleasure, abundance, reverence, action, venerable, great happiness, the noble Lord of splendor, the greatest granter of all wishes wished for, the highest source of refuge, refuge granting, the fearsome enemy of potent danger, alleviating danger in all forms, with tufts of hair and plumes of luscious hair, with matted locks, cord-tied, five-faced, with 5 hair tufts, his head well crowned, his head adorned with garlands of 5 strands, upholding great observances, head shaven, the foremost of observances, chaste student, with great austerities, perfected fully. He is the greatest bather, Gotama, a Brahmin, Brahma, knower of Brahman, arrived in full at Brahman Nirvana, awakening, its branches, liberation, release, complete tranquility, quiescence, nirvana, peacefulness, tranquility, approaching graceful entry to nirvana, the culmination, ending pain and pleasure, the state devoid of passion, free from substrates, beyond defeat, unmanifest, unmatched, not making manifest, appearance free, pervasive, timeless, fully omnipresent, minute, beyond defilements, seed free, unstained, devoid of passion, passionless, controlling humors, free from every illness, by nature most awakened, fully awake, omnipresent, omniscient, knowing everything, supreme, beyond reality as consciousness, pristine awareness bearing non-dual form, beyond conceptualization, effort-free, acting as Buddhas do in every age, the Buddha, endless and beginningless, the Buddha at the start, devoid of sequence, with wisdom as his only eye, unstained, Tathagata was with wisdom as his body, the sovereign of all language, great debater, the king of discourse, best of orators, the best and greatest of communicators, the unassailable, the lion of speech, with universal vision, true delight, with fire garlands, handsome to behold, the endless knot, most radiant, great luster, with shining rays in hand, providing light, the best and foremost of all great physicians, unequaled in removing the thorns of pain, a tree providing medicine for all, a foe opposing every malady, the lovely crowning jewel of all the 3 worlds, a cluster of the stars, most glorious, the end of space in all its 10 directions, the hoisting high of the Dharma's victory flag, sharing one large umbrella with the world, with love and kindness as his mandala, the celebrated lotus lord of dance, pervasive with his precious parasol, the blazing energy of all the Buddhas, with bodies fully shared by all the Buddhas, the highest union formed with all the Buddhas, the single teaching taught by all the Buddhas, the most glorious with Vajra Ratna's blessing, the highest sovereign Lord of Sarva Ratna, the King Supreme of Sarva Lokeshvara, the Lord on high of Sarva Vajradhara, the quintessential mind of Sarva Buddha, residing in the mind of every Buddha, the greatest body born by every Buddha, the lovely speech encircling the lovely speech enriching every Buddha, the scorching brightness from the Vajra sun, with stainless luster from the Vajra moon, great passion of the passionless and others, with multicolored rays that brightly blaze, the perfect Buddha's perfect Vajra posture, retaining for all beings the Buddha's Dharma, the lotus Buddha's celebrated son, the knowledge treasurer for the omniscient, the sovereign king controlling all illusions, the foremost master of the Buddha's spells, called Vajra Tikshna, sword supremely mighty, completely pure, the highest syllable, atop pain's remedy, the Mahayana, with Vajra Dharma as his mighty weapon, with Vajra depth, renowned as Janajik, with Vajra thought, aware of how things are, perfecting all perfections perfectly, adorned by all the grounds of bodhisattvas, the selflessness of pure phenomena, with luster that is moonlight unto knowledge, with great endeavors as illusory nets, the foremost master ruling every tantra, endowed in full with every Vajra posture, completely furnished with all wisdom bodies, completely good with intellect supreme, the embryo of earth, sustaining beings, the great embryo from which all Buddhas form, with emanation circles most diverse, the highest nature of all entities, supportive of the nature of all things, with goals for all, with dharmas unarisen, supportive of the nature of all dharmas, with full awareness of phenomenon, in but an instant as the wisest sage, with vivid realization of all dharmas, he is a sage, the greatest intellect, the vanquisher of hosts of evil spirits, unwavering, completely pure in nature, grasping the wakefulness of perfect Buddhas, the direct realization of all Buddhas, he is the flame of wisdom, luminous. The wisdom of equality. The great fulfiller of desired aims, the purifier of all evil states, the greatest of all living beings, protector, the earnest liberator of all creatures, unrivaled knight in battle with afflictions, humiliating ignorance, his foe, the celebrated mind of amorousness, endowed with forms heroic and repulsive, the dancer moving to and fro his hundreds of lengthy arms, while setting down his stride, the dancer spreading through the whole of space and filling it with Srimat's 100 arms, stood tall atop the surface of the earth, the sole of just 1 foot pervading all, stood tall atop the summit of the world, the nail of his big toe suppressing all, whose aim is one, whose aim is non-dual dharma, whose aim is ultimate, beyond destruction, whose mind consists in groups of consciousnesses, with varied objects, forms, and cognizance, amused with every object of existence, a mind of passion, loving emptiness, transcending worldly passion and the like, with great enjoyment for the threefold world, with fair complexion white like pristine clouds, with radiance like beams from autumn moons, with luster rivaling the morning suns, with nails emitting light of crimson red, whose handsome crown has sterling sapphires, whose hair has tips of sapphire deep blue, with glory from the light of his great jewel, adorned with emanations of the Buddhas, the shaker of 100 worldly realms, his strength, the 4 miraculous powers, reality with mindfulness supreme, samadhi king of fourfold mindfulness, infused with scents from bloom on Bodhi's branches, an ocean of Tathagata's virtues, with knowledge of the Eightfold Path's true way, with knowledge of the path of perfect Buddhas, the great attachment of all living beings, attachment free, comparable to space, when springing up in every creature's mind, he is for every being as swift as mind, aware of all the aptitudes of being, while captivating every creature's mind with insight into aggregated natures, himself with fully pure 5 aggregates atop the peak of every going forth, most skilled in going forth in every way, established in all paths of going forth, the teacher of all forms of going forth, uprooting all becoming with the 12 links, endowed with purity in all 12 forms, his form the way of fourfold noble truth, with realization of the eightfold knowledge, with meaning of the truths in 12-fold form, aware of suchness in its 16 forms, with true awakening in 20 forms, awakened fully, knowing all supreme, dispatching countless sets of some 10 million embodiments of emanating Buddhas, the final realization of all moments, who knows each moment's object for all minds, and manifesting for the sake of beings, with means derived from varied vehicles, gone forth by way of all three vehicles, remaining in the single vehicle's fruit, with purified afflictive spheres at heart, annihilating every karmic sphere, arrived atop dry land from flooding oceans, emerged from yoga's perilous dark grove, released from general, minor, and complete afflictions and their latent tendencies, with insight, means, and foremost empathy, achieving fruitful aims for living beings, abiding object-free through all perceptions, with consciousness as object, with cessation, with every being the object of his mind, with knowledge that's the mind of all the Buddhas, residing in the mind of every being, having become their mind's equality, and satisfying the mind of every being, he is for every being great inner joy, confusion free regarding the points of the doctrine, completely free from error in all its forms, his thinking free from doubt, his object threefold, his object all, three properties by nature, throughout three times the content of 5 skandhas, discerning clearly each and every moment, awakening in but a single moment, his basic nature equal to all Buddhas, with body bodiless, the best of bodies, with realization of the peak of bodies, displaying his form in every possible way, he is the greatest stone, the precious gem. The wisdom of performing actions. What all the perfect Buddhas are to know, the Buddha's unsurpassed awakening, devoid of syllables, yet born of mantra, arising from great mantras, threefold family, the father to the meaning of all mantras, the greatest Bindu, void of syllables, with 5 great syllables, great empty one, 100 syllables, devoid of Bindu, endowed with every form, yet free from form, supporting half of 16 Bindus, transcending every grouping, void of members, sustaining dhyana's fourth and final peak, aware of dhyana's each and every aspect, with knowledge of samadhi's types and families, the best of bodies, body of samadhi, the sovereign king of all enjoyment bodies, the best of bodies, emanation body, the heir to emanations of the Buddhas, with varied emanations everywhere, while benefiting all, however needed, the sovereign of the gods, the god of the gods, Asura Lord, the ruler of immortals, the king of deities, the gods' guru, the highest lord of the Paramata emerged from cyclic life's imposing forest, the single teacher, guru for all beings, in every well-known world, in all directions, the eminent bestower of the Dharma, concealed by armor made of loving kindness, well shielded by the shield of empathy, with wisdom sword in hand, with bow and arrow, concluding war with ignorance and klishas, the Mara's enemy and tamer, hero, eliminating threats from all 4 Maras, defeating all the armies of the Maras, a guide for living beings, the perfect Buddha, deserving homage, worthy of respect, deserving reverence, always honorable, deserving worship, worthy of regard, the highest guru, ever venerable, traversing all the 3 worlds in just one stride, his step extending past the bounds of space, with knowledge of the 3, well-versed and pure, with 6-fold higher knowledge and recall, the Bodhisattva and Mahasattva, with power great, transcending worldly life, perfected by his excellence of insight, now unified with insight's highest nature, the whole, aware of self, aware of other, fit for all, he is the best of men, surpassing all to which he is compared, supreme lord of knowing and what's known, the foremost master of imparting Dharma, who shows the meaning of the fourfold seal, the most revered among all living beings, engaged in going forth on all the 3 paths, with glory purified by ultimate truth, most fortunate within the threefold world, the celebrated source of all endowments, supreme among the glorious Manjushri. Praise for the wisdom of the 5 Tathagatas. Homage to you, boon granter, best of Vajras, O summit of existence, homage to you, whose source is emptiness, O Buddha's awakening, homage to you, O passion of the Buddhas, homage to you, desire of the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O love of every Buddha, homage to you, the joy of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O smile of every Buddha, homage to you, the laugh of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, O speech of every Buddha, homage to you, the heart of all the Buddhas, I pay you homage, arisen from non-being, homage to you, arisen from from the Buddhas, arisen from the sky, homage to you, born of pristine wisdom, O net of illusion, homage to you, the Buddha's spectacle, homage to you, the everything of all, O body of wisdom, homage to you. Om Sarva Dharma Bhava Swabhava Vishuddha Vajra A Prakritri Parishuddha Sarva Dharma Yad Uta Sarva Tathagatha Janakaya Manjushri Parishuddhi Tam Upadayati Sarva Tathagata Hridayam Hara Hara Om Hong Shri Bhagavan Janamurti Vagishwari Mahavacha Sarva Dharma Gagana Mala Sapari Gaganamala Suparishuddha Dharma Dhatu Jana Garbha. Then Vajradhara, ever glorious, most pleased and satisfied, with folded palms, prostrated to the Buddha, noble guard, the Blessed One, the Lord Tathagata, and with a host of other Vajrapanis of varied forms, the lords of Guyakas, sublime protectors, noble wrathful kings, he then exclaimed this effervescent praise, Protector, we rejoice, how excellent what you have clearly taught. Through you, our lofty aim has been achieved, which leads to true and full awakening, and so the aims of helpless, mundane beings who seek the fruits of perfect liberation. Just this is taught in the Maya Jala, is the noble path that leads to excellence. With largeness, vastness, and profundity, with meaning great, achieving being's aims, just this comprises every Buddha's sphere. Just this is taught by all awakened ones. This concludes the supreme chanting of the names of the Blessed One, Manjushri, the wisdom deity. It was extracted from the noble Net of Illusion, a Mahayoga Tantra in 16,000 parts, from its chapter on the Net of Samadhi. It was spoken by the Blessed One, Shakyamuni, the Tathagata. Vajra Sattva Samaya Manipalaya Vajra Sattva Tinapa Tijo Dido Me Bhava Sudo Kaya Me Bhava Subujaya Me Bhava Anuragdo Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayaja Sarva Karma Sutsame Chitam Shriam Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatha Gata Vajra Mame Muncha Vajri Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Om A E E U U Re Re Le Le E E O O Am A Ka Ka Ga Ka Na Cha Cha Ja Ja Nya Tra Tra Da Da Na Ta Tha Da Tha Na Ba 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 Ma Yara Lava Shaka Saharsha Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hidun Rabhava Hidun Tejan Tatha Gato Haya Vade Tegan Sayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Maha Sharmanaya Swaha